We know how much you guys love listening to our stories, but did you know you can also listen to more stories, books, and podcasts on audible.com?
Say what?
Listeners of Storylords might enjoy the comedy sci-fi series Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's about a regular guy named Carl who's thrown into a big old dungeon crawl to save humanity from aliens, which are real. Do your own research.
And I've been listening to the High Republic Star Wars series for months now. And I've been listening to...
I am partial to iRobot
Okay, go, your turn.
because it helps me set my boundaries with organic beings.
I like to read magazines that judge people's decorating tastes. Oh yes, okay, you go. Do they do those?
Audible lets you listen to your favorite series while you're driving or just chilling at home at any speed you want. And there's tons of books and types of literature to choose from. I like the book. That's audibletrial.com/storylords. Sign up for a trial today and help support your boys, the Storylords. Aww.
Welcome, Story Squires, to another episode of Story Lords, the prompt-based fiction podcast with 2 prompts, 3 stories, and infinite laughter. And I'm Rich Masters, and with me, as always, is Jeff Pennington.
Hey, everybody.
And Josh Henderson.
I hope to die infinitely laughing, preferably today. That would be great, I think, for the ratings and the show.
Save us from having to fire you.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
We'd never fire you. We're like the Jordan, Pippin, and Rodman of podcasting.
you know, that actually makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. Who's the freaky one?
I am,
Josh
right?
is the freaky one. Well, even if it's not true, the audience thinks he's the Rodman.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, like, I get so many rebounds. Like, it's crazy.
He also loves to fuck Madonna.
I mean, 90s Madonna?
True.
Yeah?
and Carmen
True.
Electra.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Wait, who are you?
Yeah, which one of us has the horrific gambling problem that's going to ruin our career?
That's Rich. He's Michael Jordan.
I'm a closet,
He's the best writer.
He
closet
is.
gambler.
It's true.
Well, and Scottie Pippen? Oh, so good.
Scottie
I love
Pippen,
Pippen.
the tallest one? Makes sense.
Right, so
does.
Pippin is definitely, like, for me, he's like top 25. I'm going to say 25 because I couldn't estimate
Out
that
of
he was
that
in
all-time
top 20.
NBA?
Yeah, I reckon so. He is.
He might be top 10.
Yeah, the thing about Pippen is if he would have been on any other team,
Yeah.
he would have been the Jordan
Yeah.
of that team.
Yeah, he would
Yeah,
have been amazing.
if it had been on the Pistons when the Pistons went through that great run,
Yeah.
he would have been like Jordan's equal, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the Knicks, he would have
Yeah.
complimented Patrick Ewing.
Or the Jazz,
That's
when the
true.
Jazz were good against the Bulls.
Oh, yeah, it's John Stockton, Carl Malone.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
But yeah, I think like Pippin's always lived in his shadow, which is really sad because I love Scottie Pippen. I think he's great, and
Oh,
he
he's
was
like
in.
a billionaire, though.
Yeah,
so
I don't
feel
think he
too
really
bad.
cared that much. Like in interviews,
don't-
people would ask him about it and stuff, and he'd be like, I don't care.
Yeah. Do you know Jordan's worth $3.7 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
'cause
owns a team
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he owns the
Washington Wizards?
Washington Wizards.
Wizards, yeah.
The thing about the Washington Wizards that pisses me the fuck off, look at their logo. There is not one hint of magic
know.
on that entire fucking logo.
Where's the wizard? Dude,
Your
you were
logo is
given
a-
the green light. You're given the green light to have a van wizard on your uniform, and you don't do it.
Your logo is a basketball?
Yeah, it's yeah. Like, fucking stupid. Get fucking real. Go back to the Bullets. Who cares?
The Washington Wizards are the closest team to me, and I cannot root for them because they're terrible
they
graphic
suck.
design.
They fucking suck.
They do suck dick as well, so there is that.
I mean,
every team sucks dick in the NBA. It's crazy.
if the Phoenix Suns looks more magical than the Washington Wizards, then you got a problem there, right?
Absolutely true.
Well, they have a slam dunking gorilla, so that should be Jeff's favorite team.
There really is nothing more magical than a slam dunking gorilla when you think about it.
We're gonna see Jeff with like a fucking Phoenix Suns jersey on next time.
Look, I'm being a good boy and not mentioning my hyperfixation on the air.
Fair enough. Who do you think has the best logo?
Oh god, and any more? Who knows? I mean, there's so many fucking variations. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I feel like I have to go like full vanilla and say the Bulls.
The Bulls do
No, the
have
Bulls
a
is
great
great.
vanilla.
It's an incredible logo.
It's great.
The Grizzlies, maybe? The Hornets?
Grizzlies-
I'm not talking
They don't
about...
exist anymore.
Yeah, no,
Doesn't
but out of
exist.
all time.
Honestly, like,
Oh.
I'm gonna have to go with the Brooklyn Bombers if we're just picking what the fuck ever.
I think the Spurs are really good.
Yeah,
That's like a
yeah.
timeless one.
good. Miami
the
Heat?
Jazz has a cool, like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
they used to. I don't think they really use
The one with the, like, clef, and the point of it is the
Yeah.
basket.
Yeah.
The Pacers is good as well, where the ball is in the P.
I like the Nuggets, the 70s Nuggets, when it was like that fucking like rainbow fucking
Yeah.
shit. That was
Yeah.
cool.
This isn't a basketball.
This is what this show is about now, by the way. Welcome.
Everyone's like, what the fuck? Why do they know so much about basketball?
We were all basketball obsessives in the 90s, early
In the
90s,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah, got to get some of that repeat stuff going on. Anyway, we are a fiction podcast, and we tell stories based on your prompts. And your prompts this week were chains and sidekicks. So where did we go with that? Where did we go kinky with it? Well, I guess we'll find out because it's Josh's turn to read first.
Rodman's up.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I just dyed my hair purple or something crazy.
We, the American public, cannot handle it.
A black man with purple hair? Now I've seen everything.
A black man with very obvious mental health issues who wants a break now and again? My God!
No, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Dennis Rodman. Bitch.
My favorite black man, Josh Henderson.
Redheads are black now. Did you know that?
No.
I didn't make it up. That's what they're saying. Anyway,
They, Josh?
yeah. Yeah. I can say that because we're them now.
I don't know about all that. You're the editor. You use your discretion.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this story this week is called "The Binds That Chain Us."
Nice.
I almost called my story the exact same thing.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Get the fuck out of here.
One brain.
God damn. So let me get this straight, Scrabble's dad said.
Oh, no.
He rubbed his forehead and his giant compound eyes in disbelief. We've been stuck down here in this lava-filled BBC for 1,000 years? Yes, unfortunately, Ugla said. Did you hear that?
Yeah, what happened?
Did you hear that sound? Car accident.
Whoa!
Josh is recording from a car today, just so you know.
No, I think a truck. Fucking whatever. It's fine. And on top of that, everything above ground is run by Mad Max-style cannibalistic karate gangs that would just as soon put you in a Thunderdome than take a shower? Yes, again, unfortunately, Ugla replied. I mean, that part isn't too difficult too different from old Daranos, but still, the not taking a shower thing is pretty nasty, the Red Queen said. She talks like a queen now.
Yeah, I was like, who is this character?
I changed it. I retconned it.
I like this character.
Okay. Scrabbles moved to lean against the stalactite. All his friends, his millions of cousins and uncles and aunts, they were all dead by now.
Oh.
I'll use my discretion on that one. Schnitzel, his pet shrewberry, which of course we all know is a little shrew that if eaten turns you into a hassock, is dead. Do you know what a hassock is?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
It's a footstool.
Oh, it's nice.
This guy is the #1 footstool scientist in America today.
So in England, a hassock is a village or civil parish in the mid-Sussex district of West Sussex.
Okay, well, you can't turn into that because it's too big.
Why do you have names for such specific bullshit?
I don't
That's all
know.
they do over there.
Don't know.
That's all they do.
We've got lots of time.
Yeah. Schnitzel! Dant cried a little as a little dream bubble appeared above his head, in which he saw Schnitzel waiting for him at the door for years and years, a la Jurassic Park from Futurama, except way sadder. Like, it's okay if you want to cry right now. I won't tell your already disappointed in you whore mother who definitely hugged you too much or too little.
Whatever.
Really
works.
hard to tell.
Whoa, where do you think you're going, Axe said, pointing her new cold steel enchanted weapon at Dant. And let's not forget about this one, Dant snapped back. It's all her fault that the world turned into shit, probably, he yelled. She probably encouraged all the cannibalism and stinky karate. She's probably the reason Theranos fell in the first place. I had nothing... Well, Axe stopped herself mid-sentence. I mean... Yeah, okay, sure, I did some of that stuff, and I might have encouraged the cool karate moves, but it doesn't matter now. We're all stuck here, and if we can get back to the past, we can change it. I can change. She trailed off. But if we change the future, wouldn't we have already changed it? Squib said, gnawing on a random bone.
Shut up, Squib.
Squib, shut the fuck, Axe yelled. He's right, the Red Queen interrupted. I am? Cool, Squib said, shaking the bone in his mouth like a dog. Wait. No, wait. Ugla held up a hand and rubbed the bridge of her nose with the other. We're still here, so the changes haven't happened yet. That is, if we ever did succeed in making it back to our time and stopping this lich. There's a lich now? Dad said. Mamma mia! Yeah, sorry about that, Ugla said. We are still three-dimensional beings, so we perceive time that way. Even though time is probably all happening at once, blah, 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 blah. This isn't the famous all-sea flick William and Theodore, Theranos' most proper party gentlemen. Remember when William and Theodore kicked Reese's out of their all-sea booth into the time stream and made him experience every moment of existence all at once and he had a brain embolism? Classic, Squib said.
And deserved.
Meanwhile, in a dimension of unknown location, Reese's the Wise was sitting nude in front of his all-sea ball watching the new season of Ice-Chode Fuckers. Ah, yes. I sense that you are here. Is this one of those cutaways that these stories tend to have? Reese said, scratching his taint. So, let's see. Usually something humorous happens here, right? Well, Reese's looked around from side to side. Well, I do need to repaint my alchemy lab. That's something you could do. Or you could help me wax my body for my date tonight. I'm going out with a 7-headed demigorgon. She recently became a widow, and we've been talking on all Seaball, and I think I can be there for her in her time of wait, where are you going? The camera began to dolly backwards out of the scene, and the vignette turned black. Ah, fuck it, just cut to the damn squirrel again next time, you son of a... Back in the cave, Axe was still pointing her axe at Dan. She lowered it slowly to her side. Look, she said, I messed up. Wait, who is this? This is Axwoon. Sorry, I labeled it wrong. Look, she said, I messed up. And it cost me. It cost me a lot more than I was willing to lose. Dant eyed her suspiciously. But like Dork Wizard said over there, we're here now, and we need to get back to the prime Theranos timeline. I'm willing to help you do that. The words almost making her vomit. She felt the acidity of her salivary glands swelling up as she choked down on the words and spat them out. Ha! Ha ha ha! Dant began to laugh sarcastically. You think I'm gonna let you help us get out of here? You may have girled off the white woman tricked over here. Hey, Ugla said, looking at her outfit. I mean, that's fair, but still. But You aren't gonna fool Scrabble's Dant. Plus, Her Majesty here is precious cargo. Squib gasped. Did you guys make a baby ant? Are you gonna be parents? Dant slowly turned his compound eyes toward the little gobloid. Yes, we made a baby while we were encased in ice for millennia. What are you, some kind of fucking idiot? Dant yelled.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody replied in unison. Even Squib himself a second later than anyone else. She's the last ant queen, red or not. Mankind's fate may very well rest in her many, many hands, Dan said, looking over at the 12-foot-tall giant ant lady. He did notice the lava light flickered off of her carapace. He wouldn't mind locking mandibles with such a... No, he stopped himself. We have work to do. We have work to do, he said. How do we get out of here?
God, this is a good story.
Such good writing. Goddamn. Several hours later, and many more tunnels downward, the newly augmented fellowship was still nowhere near figuring out what they were supposed to do or needed to go. So, you guys just walk around for hours like this? The Red Queen asked, looking down at Ugla. Yep, Ugla said, holding sandals of the staff in front of her as a light. And people pay money to listen to this? The Queen went on.
Some do.
Apparently, Ugla said. Wait, everyone shut the actual fuck up, Axe said, holding out a hand. I know where we are. I know where we are, she yelled back at everyone. Hell? Squib asked innocently. Close! Axe ran over to him and picked him up, shaking him excitedly. We're near the pain mines. They're still here after all these years, she said, still shaking Squib. Sins alert! Sins alert! Squib said as his baby-sized head bobbled around. It's too soon, man. Ahead, they could hear the clanging of tools on stone, the faint rumble of ancient machinery, and handcarts on gravel crunching echoed faintly off the walls. There's a comma there.
You got
somewhere.
it, buddy. You got it.
Thanks. How? Who would still be working in the mines after all these years? Ugla asked. Capitalism refuses to die even at the end of the world, Squib said poignantly. Everyone turned to stare at him. What? I can say smart stuff sometimes too, he snapped. Soon they found themselves in a massive hollowed-out cavern. The gaping maw of the famous pain mines loomed over them like a shadowy monster. Even though ravaged by time and now covered under miles of earth, the wails of the mine still rang through as clear as a dinner bell. This must be some backdoor entrance. This must be some backdoor entrance, Dan said mockingly. You would know, sex witch. How many men have you sent down here to their dooms to this place? I bet you have a club card. Send 12 slaves, get an 11th slave, or something. Shut up, Dan yelled.
Good point, well made.
A hot howling wind blew through the cavern as what sounded like screams of 1,000 dead-ass ghosts shot through their very cores. Well, no need to go in there. Where to next? Squib said, turning around. They might have answers in there, Ugla said, spinning him around mid-step with one twist of his baby-sized head. They're the only thing from the old world we've come across. With that, each one took a hesitant step forward into the pain mines. Inside, they saw a single Skeleman standing behind a podium. Alongside of him, the entrance to the pain mines was roped off with velvet crowd control ropes.
Gotta keep up the riffraff.
Next, the Skeleman yelled. They all looked around from side to side to see that nobody but themselves were in line. I said next, let's go, the Skeleman yelled. The gang all wordlessly stepped forward. Names? The Skeleman said. Ugla? Ugla said. Ugla. The Skeleman looked at a massive scroll. He flipped it and unscrolled it for what seemed like forever. Nope, no Ugla here, he said. Next! Wait. Axe said, flipping open her chain wallet and pulling out a club card. I fucking knew it! Dan shouted. Ah, Mistress Axwood, welcome back. I see that you have 7 stamps, and with these specimens you brought us, that makes the 11th slave free, he said excitedly.
Oh my god, he was right.
Squib listened intently to the background noise booming from the cavern. He could have sworn he heard the booming of bass-boosted speakers. Wait, is this a club now? He said, interrupting whatever joke was failing before this.
I'm yoinking that one for my next store.
Sir, the Skeleman said, we are the Pain Mines, Theranos' only and most famous pain-oriented mining experience. During the years, we have had to adapt to changing conditions above, but I assure you we very much are still a mine. Well, why are those guys over there dancing? Squib said, pointing ahead. In the distance, a half dozen or so creatures of various mutations and grotesqueries were dancing and crunking and doing the cat daddy. Those, sir, are some of our newest guests. They have been sentenced to death by the dancing plague. As you can see, their feet are bloody from dancing for over a month now. They should be dropping dead any day now. They have contributed to this month's pain tally a great deal. But the pain energy we have siphoned from them, the pain energy we have siphoned from them from listening to Montel Jordan's This Is How We Screw It on repeat alone has filled our pain coffers.
That's good. That's too good.
Sure looks like a club to me, the Red Queen said. A place can be two things, madam, the Skeleman shouted. Look, we're here. We're new here, and we just came looking for answers, Ugla said, stepping up to the podium. This is the only place we recognize from our neck of the woods. We're time travelers, Squib said. Ah, yes, you must be very, very old indeed, the Skeleman said, eyeing Ugla up and down. What? Hey, she said, offended. You must want to speak with him, the Skeleman said. That is, if you can survive the mines, he shouted with a flourish of his arms. Behind him, fireworks went off and bubbles began to fall from the ceiling as In the Air by Flo Rida began playing. The group slowly walked into the pain mines as the song got louder and louder. So this is totally just a club, right? Dant whispered to Ugla. As they walked deeper into the mines, they saw an ancient Skeleman working with a hard hat on ancient Skeleman working with hard hats on to all the coolest 90s and 2000s club hits. The Skeleman mindlessly used pickaxes against rock containing nothing but more rocks to the rhythm of Petey Pablo's Freak a Leak. Around their ankles, chains and clasps tied them to giant iron balls glowing an eerie red every time they hit the walls. Ugla walked over to a Skeleman and shone Sandal's bright white light onto its desiccated visage. The Skeleman didn't even seem to notice. He continued to chop away at nothing. Excuse me, she said. He did not notice. Excuse me, Mr. Skeleton, she repeated, tapping him on the shoulder. Ah! He screamed in pain as he dropped his axe and crumbled to the floor into a heap of bones. What did you do to him? Axe said, laughing. Nothing. He just, died again, Ugla said, stepping back. After a second, the pile of bones began to rattle and reform. They seemed to erect themselves back into a humanoid form as the Skeleman turned to look at the visitors. I'm so sorry, he said. You caught me on a death day. How can I help you? Death day? Ugla asked. Yes, I re-died. I've been mining here for millennia, and even though I'm a Skeleman now, the pain and torture of this endless, mindless existence takes its toll, he said, chuckling.
Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah.
You know what they say about indentured servitude? Do work every day as a slave, and you'll never love anything or anyone for the rest of your life. He smiled.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And boy, have I been here for many lives. Wow, yeah, great. We're supposed to go see the foreman or the boss or something, Axe said. Oh, you're looking for him, the Skeleman whispered. Just follow the stench of endless suffering and decay. That's 2 rights, a left, then middle. Then another 4 rights, another 4 lefts, 5 rights, 6 middles, another 3 lefts, and a right, and a left, and boom, you're there. Got it, Squib said, writing on an imaginary pencil on a loose rock. He licked his fingers to pretend he was turning the page. Another 3 lefts, he whispered to himself, still writing. Are you sure you don't want to stick around for some painting? The Skeleman asks excitedly. Muffy Bonebanger's dancing soon. You should check it out. Nah, we're cool, man, Dan said. Ladies and gentlemen and skeletons and ungendered mutants, an announcer's voice boomed over the hip-hop hits. Please welcome to the stage Muffy Bonebanger. Neo's She Knows began to play as a giant 8-foot-tall orc skeleton began to clatter on the stage that nobody had noticed just moments before. Careful, boys, she likes a bony, the announcer said, cutting in. Let's get out of here, Ugla said, moving everyone forward. After hours of following Squib's remarkably accurate directions, the group found themselves deep within the pain mine.
Squib is MVP this episode, man.
He's pulling his weight. He doesn't weigh that much.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, he's real little. The air was stale and quiet. The sounds of thumping and bumping had long faded away, only to be replaced with the sound of ringing and blood thumping in Ugla and everyone else's own ears. In front of them stood a doorway of ancient make. Axe went up and touched it. It's cold, she said, turning around. Of course it's old, you dumb bitch, Dan said, laughing.
Wow.
I said it's cold, you fucking newbie sidekick of the week, Axe shot back angrily. As if on cue, because the story needs to be finished soon, the door began to rumble. It creaked open, slower than your mama's legs after her hip replacement surgery, after I ruined her first set of hips by digging her out so hard, they now refer to Boston's Big Dig as Boston's second Big Dig.
God damn.
Wow.
Slowly, the gang crept their way into a giant rounded room. On the floor, a sigil of some sort lay still, covered in dust and debris. Is this the champagne room? Or, Axe said sarcastically. You are here. A booming voice shook the very walls. Each and every member of the fellowship clasped their ears in pain. What the fuck was that? Dan shouted through the pain. I am pain, the voice boomed. This brought them to their knees. Squib was now fetal, sucking his thumb. Ugla raised sandals and eked out some enchanted words. Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear, she shouted. Instantly, a pair of magic earmuffs appeared on everyone's heads, covering their ears. Small ones for Squib and larger ones for the Red Queen and Dan. There! That should shield us from the voice, Ugla shouted. What? Squib yelled, still sucking his thumb.
I knew it was coming, but still.
Before them appeared a 50-foot-tall, six-legged abomination. Its skin was scaled, and the shimmering colors of its hardened claws reflected every color in the rainbow, even some new ones that nobody had ever seen, like Blurpolina.
Blurpolina? Beauty.
Can't imagine. They'll make your brain explode. You have traveled far for mortals, the dragon creature said. Axe winced, waiting for the pain, but the magic earmuffs seemed to diffuse the hellish pain. To even look upon the great Utsilkapak is no mere feat. You are travelers. Axe raised an eyebrow as she held out a hand for everyone to let her handle this. Oh, great lord of pain and time, Utsilkapak, she said, bowing. We are humbled by your greatness and your ability to hurt us so very much. This sex witch's words ring hollow. I do not need feeble compliments. I am all time and space. Ha! Dan laughed, pointing at Axe. Bitch!
I have a new favorite character.
If you have made it here to my home, and as you have made it here to my home, and as such I am inclined to offer you a boon. Not because I have to, but because I am bored as hell down in here, in this stupid round room with no all-see cable. Axoon raised herself up. Anything, my lord, we do. What do you need from us? And may I reiterate, anything, she said with a wink.
Oh, wow.
Foolish slut mortal.
Yes? Oh, wait.
My peen exists in all of space and throughout all time. When I 3 galaxies form, when I ejaculate, universes explode into being. I've had bigger, Axe shrugged. You amuse me, whore meat. As such, I will give you your wish. But you might not find it to be exactly what you had thought. Here comes the fine print, Dan said, scrolling his compound eyes. I will send you back, but you must do something for me in return. Suddenly, the sigil on the floor began to glow red. White hot outlines traced the ancient design and began to heat the air in the room around them. Ugla stepped off one of the lines just in time. From the pain mines above, the howling of millions of beings shuddered the very walls. He's killing them all! Ugla shouted, grabbing her head. Oh no, Muffy Bone Banger! Squib said, still sucking his thumb. And then everyone was silent. White light pierced Ugla's closed eyes, causing her to shut them tighter in a vain attempt to shut off the white-hot pain burning her optic nerves. And then she woke up. They were on a grassy field. Birds chirped in the trees that swayed calmly in a summer breeze. Around, the red sigil had burned a design into the fresh green grass. Fuck, that sucked, Ugla said, popping her titty back into her chest. The Red Queen chittered, awake, along with Dan. Squib was helping Ugla stand. Halt right there, fiends! A voice came from the trees. Where in the taint maple are we? Ugla said. A tall, brown-skinned man on a regal horse strode up to them with two knights. Be ye devils? He shouted. We be lost, Ugla said, holding out her staff. It glowed with the sigil of Wizard Yale. A wizard? Well, why didn't you say so, sir? The knight said. I'm actually a woman, Ugla tried to say. Silence, the knight said. I will not have an honored wizard treated poorly in my realm, for I am Beef Wellington, Prince of Grawl Province. To be continued.
Yay!
Wellington.
End on a high,
already.
Josh.
What's that?
End on a high, Josh.
That's how you do it. George Costanza. Well, I'm out of here. See you later, guys.
That was so funny.
Scrabble's Dan
Thank
has
you.
become my new favorite character.
I love
Yeah.
that he's a complete arsehole now.
Well, he hates Axe.
That's fair.
Right.
It's fair.
I understand.
She tried to kill him. I
Yeah.
mean, fuck. You won't just be like, yeah, I'm cool with this,
Yeah.
right?
Well, unless it had been like 1,000 years, maybe. But he was
was
trapped
in
in ice.
Bristol.
He was trapped
For
in
him,
ice.
it's been like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Are they back in the
So-
present, though? Are they where they need to be?
Oh, shit.
Who
I don't
knows?
think so.
Who knows?
You knows.
I do, but I'm not telling.
We
Rich
don't
is
know
sending
either.
me a DM about taking bets about this.
Oh, shit. We're doing bets? Oh, well, then I have a bet.
Oh, no.
Let me get my guy to send in a bet so you don't know it's me.
That was funny. That
My
was super good.
guy. That was
Thank
fucking
you.
hilarious, dude.
Thanks.
Did Muffy die?
Oh, they're all dead.
Damn.
But they're skeletons, so they just come back to
Oh,
life.
We
true,
barely
that's
got to know Muffy Bonebanger. We know that
Yeah.
she likes him bony. That's all we know.
Yeah, you
She is
see
bony
that
now.
third rib of hers? Oh, man.
Oh,
I'd like
really
to
good.
Play a xylophone off of those ribs.
So what were we talking about yesterday where you were like, shit, I know what to write?
Oh, you gave me an idea for pain mines.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you did mention the pain mines
did.
directly.
And I was like, oh, cool, I can just do that again. That'll be fun.
It was
It's been a
fun.
while since, yeah. It's a club now, too.
Yep. It reminds
Well,
me.
it can be two things.
A place can be two things, guys. Like
yeah.
a Pizza Hut, Taco Bell.
Yeah, true.
That's two things.
True. I can't argue with that at all.
I've built my fantasy setting off of the concept of Pizza Hut / Taco Bell.
It's pretty fantastic, honestly.
What else would you want from a place?
A KFC and an A&W. There's ones that have 4 things. in them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. You could get an A&W root beer.
Wow. It's like a magical mystery land.
You can't get one of those just anywhere.
Yeah, they don't just grow on trees.
No.
That's a pretty good joke, actually.
Do the KFCs in your area have, this is a really boring conversation, have mashed potatoes, or do they have fries?
What kind of fucking insane brown people
No.
Not brown people, but brown eating people food. Yeah.
Well,
You don't have mashed potatoes?
We went...
I
can't remember where we went. When we were doing Route 66, we went to like a KFC off the highway, and they were serving mashed potatoes with KFC, and I was like, what the fuck is this place?
What the fuck are you guys talking about? KFC always comes with mashed potatoes.
Ours
I
don't.
thought only Boston Market came with mashed
No,
potatoes.
KFC has mashed potatoes.
See?
I order it every
out.
time I go to KFC. Mashed potatoes and mac and cheese.
I've never been to a KFC in my whole life. Can you believe that?
Yes.
No.
We're split. We're split on this one.
Wow. The podcast is broken. I broke it.
On that revelation, we are going to go to a break while we fight. We'll see you in about 30 seconds. Bye. Welcome, we're back. We talked about mashed potatoes a bit, and now we're done with the mashed potato chat.
No, here's the most fucked up part, Americans. He says that they have Popeyes, and I was like, do they have mashed potatoes? And he was like, yeah. Like, it was fucking matter of fact.
I liked the part where he said he walked out of the KFC in America because they had mashed potatoes.
No, not just
freaked
because
out,
of that.
he said.
It was just
like,
weird.
We have to get out of here.
Because this
It's
particular
not weird.
KFC...
Popeyes has it. You said Popeyes has it.
Yeah, but I hadn't gone to a Popeyes by then. This was my first experience of seeing fast food mashed potato. It was weird.
I don't know how you survived it here. I don't know how you got out of here alive, honestly.
If that was enough to make you turn tail and run.
Wait till you come back and you see some real shit, dude. Holy fuck.
Do you know that they made a chicken sandwich that had donuts for the bread?
Federal Donuts, baby.
Wow. I mean, that does confirm a lot of what I think is the problem with America.
People were waiting in line every morning for that shit, and they sold out before like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, Rich, the problem with America is that we eat bad food, not the 1 million other horrible things that's wrong with America.
I mean,
it's all the food's fault.
Yeah. Right. On to more disgusting, horrible things. I'm reading next.
Oh no, what a terrible introduction.
My episode this week is called The Rexus Chain Whore Ambassador.
What?
I don't know if it doesn't have anything to do with the story. I just wanted to make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre joke.
You're off to a great start.
Thanks.
It's a good story so far.
Good. No notes. A light flickered on in a control booth that was obscenely white and oppressive, like a 90s sitcom or a modern human trafficking trial.
Topical.
The room was too clean, not just hygienic, but smugly so. Curator Nestor was the first to arrive, of course. He lounged in his usual fashion, sideways in his hover chair, feet draped over the armrest. He didn't even sit properly if he could help it. Straight spines were for office workers or those with pokers inserted into their rectums. For fun or punishment, he wasn't one to kink shame.
Both.
The service drone flitted around the control room holding a tray of all the forbidden and tempting delicacies the control room needed. Cattle prods, cocaine, an issue of stimulating sweater meat that curator Nesta hadn't even read yet.
That's a good
It's a classic.
publication.
I read it for the articles.
Yeah.
Be gone, flying temptress, he hissed through his sharpened teeth. I do not have the time for those titillations right now. Just get me a drink. The drone...
Is this Oryx?
The drone opened a bottle that screamed quietly as the cork was pulled, then poured...
What?
And then
Is
poured...
it alive?
And then poured the thick indigo liquid into a glass. Nesta took his stein, shaped like two glorious tits, the jug, in one hand. Swirling the drink that hissed softly with each stir before taking a long gulp. Recycled torment. I ordered vintage. The 2179 kindergarten flamethrower riots had more flavour.
Awesome.
A soft ding announced Yulin's arrival. She didn't walk, but unfolded long tentacles that floated, her stretched, flat human face eerily preserved in silicon gel, like trophies from the meat age. Tall, symmetrical, not quite human, her hologram-blended chassis shimmered with neon numbers, the living data subroutine she had become. Greetings, sibling, she said, voice auto-tuned harder than a Christina Aguilera queef.
Wow. You know what, though? I'd listen to it.
Ready to engineer some sponsored despair. You're late, hissed Nesta. I am aware, Yulin replied, eyes flickering blue. Curator Fenk is en route. I passed him in the dimensional lobby, but I did it quickly so I didn't have to make small talk. Right on cue, a side panel burst open and a meatball of a being squeezed through, trundling on wheels. Fenk, a former colossus of the arena, now reduced to 80% jowl and 20% contractual obligation.
That's what this show is.
His face looked like an elephant's knee. The man flopped into his seat with a wheeze and turned towards them like a rotisserie chicken, literally spinning in its own grave.
Any mashed potatoes?
No.
He would have to end the story immediately.
I would go.
Too scary.
I have to go. There's mashed potatoes.
I brought snacks, Fenk said, unwrapping a jar that looked to contain something suspiciously sentient. Put that away, Yulin hissed. We have work to satisfy, not indulgences. For me, the two aren't mutually exclusive. Fenk inhaled the dying breaths in the container. We are in the best misery business in the omniverse, apart from American journalism, or the family member who has to open Hulk Hogan's funeral invite rejections.
Aww.
Fuck that
Do you
guy.
think they would be really sad? I don't think they would care. They'd be like, yeah,
Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, we get it.
Yulin sighed. Are we ready to begin? We're waiting on him, as always, Nesta rolled his eyes. Fenk tutted. We'll catch him up. Let's just get on with this. Nesta flicked a clawed finger toward the central holosphere that sat in the middle of their seating area. The holosphere housing their central intelligence of evil, the one and all. A flickering view of the arena appeared. Fire, sand, 24 shouting combatants tearing each other apart senselessly, like a Reddit thread about The Last of Us Season 2.
Man.
We've hit a rating sub-baseline, Nestor announced, scrolling through charts with the same enthusiasm someone might use to choose which of your mother's holes to abuse.
Wow.
So not much.
Not much. Even the blood fetishists have switched over to Great British Bake Off.
It's an addicting show.
Still going.
What can I say? Yeah.
What the demonic Paul Hollywood does to attract souls is his own business, Yulin agreed. Our problem is over-farming all these convicts. Same death, same dust, same arcs. no tension, no novelty. There's more entertainment in a Tales from the Tavern episode.
Whoa!
Hey, I didn't say that.
Look. You
I
can edit
said
that out
it.
if you want.
I'm going to use my discretion. I'm leaving it in.
Fenk took a hit of whatever it was in the jar and shrugged. Maybe we just throw more tigers in. Maybe give them some deep-seated emotional trauma via social media. Or make the entire playing field lava again. That was very popular. Nestor sighed. We've tried lava twice. It's practically a bloody foot spa in there by now. The viewers want emotion, drama, something they haven't seen before. We need more than blood. Yulin nodded. Somewhere behind her neutral smile, 15 algorithms were screaming. We need suffering with stakes. Personal ones. Love, loss, treachery, ironic symmetry, finding out your ex gave you super mega herpes. Preferably stakes with merchandise potential. I have overstaffed sweatshops and young mothers having to actually care for their offspring rather than sending them to work. Fenk leaned forward. What if, instead of fighting, what if we made them kiss? A silence lingered in the air. A silence lingered in the air like a 6 rotten egg and diarrhea omelette fart in an elevator.
Oh my god.
While your vocabulary is as cogent as a Truth Social post, your idea has merit, said Nestor slowly. They do say opposites attract. At that moment, the central holosphere blinked, a new signal from the one and all. Always listening, always watching. The lights dimmed, and a voice filled the room. Rich, ancient, layered with tones not meant for human ears.
Query resolution complete. I have 2 variables.
2 glowing...
You fucking scaring my dick off, dude.
Dr. Doom is here? What the fuck?
2 glowing files slid up on the holosphere. One, a woman, a soldier, a killer, undefeated in 5 prison riots, broke a guard's spine with her snarky comments and a hard stare. The other, a man, mild-mannered, a forger, longer streak of yellow than a capuchin monkey with bladder control issues.
I gotta look up what that monkey looks like. I don't know what that is.
I do.
Fenk licked
Capuchin.
It's a Marcel.
Oh, Marcel.
Yeah.
They have yellow?
No, he's just got...
pissing.
It's pissing. He's got bladder control issues.
Marcel from Friends.
We'll,
he's cute.
We'll just take a time out. Fenk licked his lips. Emotional, physical, logic, outlook, disposition, sexual dynamic. Everyone an incompatibility. It's like they were made to hate each other. Yulin's holographic mouth twisted into something like a smile. Bond them. Make them suffer together. Betrayal or union. Either way, rating spike. Nestor raised his glass. To love, death, and delightful codependence. The voice...
Yay!
The voice spoke again, colder this time. Survival probability is potentially unfavourably high. I've lost the voice because my voice is cracking a little bit.
It's gone, yeah.
Wait a minute, I'll do it again.
Survival probability is potentially unfavourably high. Recommended that you monitor closely, intervene if necessary, or they will be your replacements.
Nice.
Yulin giggled in electronica. Oh, a gamble. Delicious. They laughed together, 3 ghouls of past glory basking in the miserable light of tomorrow's blood sport. And down below in the bowels of the arena, somewhere between a cell block and a TV set, names were being called. There is a simple trick to survive in prison. Don't be interesting. Well, that and don't argue when your 320-pound muscle-bound cellmate wants to call you Lindsay. If you were...
I've been called worse.
If you were quiet, useful, and convincingly boring, they ignored you. Guards, gangsters, the men who ran card games with fingernails that they'd ripped out of their fellows. You just scraped along the underbelly of the system like a barnacle on a warship, crusty, invisible, like the taint fluff of society.
What?
He'd gotten good at being taint fluff. So when he woke up on a bench softer than a Supreme Court judge ruling on the Epstein files...
This is so timely.
And didn't immediately feel the cold slab of concrete nipping at his spine, he knew he wasn't in chokey anymore. He just assumed he was dreaming, or deader than Hulk Hogan from whatever killed him. I assume a drop kick from the devil off the top rope.
That's too cool for him. He just had a fucking heart attack because he's old and stupid.
Peep, peep, peep. As the trilling of his alarm pulled him from his slumber, he reached out a hand and slapped it into something feathery. Hey man, buy me a seed dinner first. Who the hell are you feeling up? The world sharpened like bad acid. The room around him wasn't his cell. It was a corridor. Cold brick and a tang of ammonia urine that singed his nostrils. As he looked down...
Like a train station.
Yeah, like the train station. As he looked down, a small birdman was staring up at him with angry eyes. You can't just punch a guy in the beak, man. I'm sorry, the man said. You were beeping. Well, how the hell else do you expect me to find a sweet piece of tail feather down here? Online dating? The birdman... Go on.
This is so timely.
The birdman ruffled his feathers and started doing the dance, peeping loudly. We might be able to about to die, but I want to get my cloaca sucked one last time.
Whoa!
What the hell?
God damn! This is the train station.
As the birdman moved away back down the corridor, peeping, he noticed that the bird was tied to a large walking fungus that shrugged back at him. In fact, the stone hall was lined with pair after pair of men and women chained together at the wrist. All the partners were different sizes and shapes. Giant barbarian types with small hooded rogues, a behemoth crocodile and a thin robot with Humi printed across him. Amazonian shield maidens with navigator droids, a frog axeman with a huge jelly skelly man, and a large cyborg cowboy with a little pissant human tied to him. He turned. Metal clinked. He froze as he sensed a heat next to him, and he turned his head. Beside him, sprawled across the bench like a crime scene recreation, was a woman. Tall, muscular, with thighs thicker than the best custard you have ever tasted.
Oh, yeah. Christmas custard.
Evocative.
Breathing steadily, like someone who'd long ago stopped worrying whether or not they'd wake up. And between them, at their wrists, an iron chain no longer than a metre. They were bonded together too. He didn't scream, regardless of how much he wanted to. She kind of looked like the kind of person you didn't bump into in a bar unless you wanted your jaw served back to you in a paper cup. Short hair, tight jaw, posture of someone who'd either broken out of prison or had been running it from the inside. While she snored, he was trying to breathe in time so as not to be noticed. Not because she scared him, okay, yes, because she scared him, but also because nothing made sense and he needed to work this out. The last thing he remembered was mopping the parole board room floor and quietly replacing a few files with forgeries, very tasteful ones to aid in his escape. And then darkness, and then this. Her eyes opened. She didn't wake, her eyes opened. She had already been watching, waiting. Pupils pale grey like smoke. She took one look at him, at the room, then sat up in one clean, violent motion. He flinched. Okay, so hear me out, he muttered. The woman didn't respond. She was busy staring at the sealed doors ahead, huge obsidian black, with a faint neon inscription above that read, "Abandon all hope, ye who be pussies!"
Damn, this place is lit!
Across the floor were scuff marks, claw marks, and one single loafer. Just one. He turned it over with his foot to find an appendage sticking out that ended at the ankle. He tugged gently at the chain. Hi, he tried. Not to start off on the wrong foot, but Is that a severed leg-related pun? She said. Her voice had her voice had all the warmth of a parking machine demanding exact change. Where are we? I don't know, he said. I was in cell block J. I make ID cards, forged passes, mostly small scale. She stared at him like he was the sort to buy a bottle of water and try and set it free in a lake.
What does that mean?
He's stupid.
Is that a thing you guys say over there?
No?
It should be.
Jesus. Must be soothing having a brain so smooth you can use the inside of your head as a marble run, she said. He shut up. The room lit up suddenly. A disembodied voice crackled in from nowhere and everywhere. Welcome, contestants! Trial 1 will commence shortly. Please face the north wall and attempt not to defecate. He didn't even have time.
I hope Muffy Bonebanger is here.
He didn't even have time to ask which wall was north before the far wall dropped away like a guillotine. Beyond it, a vast arena, blinding lights, a roaring crowd, sand, steel, something that looked like a robot tiger ridden by a skeleton king.
That's awesome.
He's back.
He's back. The skeleton is back. The floor beneath their feet began to tilt. Stand, she snapped. She was already moving, chain in one hand, dragging him along. I'm trying, he yelped, scrambling. I don't do... Good God, you have the physical presence of a trash bag filled with ejaculate, she whispered. They made it to the edge as the platform locked into place. Below them, the arena stretched out like a Roman Colosseum's half-chub sex dream. Towers, rotating blades, pits, fire. So much fire. The voice returned. Welcome to round 1, the labyrinth. Objective is simple. Get to the door. The audience is eager. The floor is slippery with blood. If you must die, do so in an entertaining fashion. The muscly woman instantly took off, not quite running. The walkways of the maze shifted underfoot, turning 90 degrees with no warning. Each time they adjusted, the chain between them jerked taut. As they moved through the winding turns of the maze, pieces of the floor began to give way to either side of them. He looked down and had a minor existential crisis. If I fall, please don't let go, he squeaked. If you fall, I'll jump just to land on your spine, she replied calmly.
Yeah, I'm about to scare ejaculate over here. Damn, dude.
This would be easier if we were the same height, he gasped, ducking a flying trivia drone, yelling, Your mother is disappointed in you. From speakers and monitors surrounding them, the audience cackled from somewhere above, some of them holding neon signs like Die Horribly and Technomancer 316.
Damn!
She ignored him, yanking him as left as more panels dropped out beneath their feet to leave a narrow walkway. Below, a writhing trench of bodies, not quite dead but not quite sane, all of them laughing maniacally. Constantly. One man simply shrieked, The Joe Rogan Show provides all the evidence I'll ever need, on repeat.
This is hell!
Squid was right. This is hell.
That way leads to insanity, said the woman. Do not fall. Obviously, he said, I'm not suicidal. No, but you move like someone whose centre of gravity is in another galaxy. Gusts of fake winds and torrents of rain licked at the narrow bridge in front of them. The discouragement drones flew between them, an inch away from touching them as they made the sort of comments about their mothers that would make a lord blush or grab a notepad and pen. Foam cannons exploded, but the foam was jizz napalm.
Oh my god!
Flamethrowers spun lazily above a rotating platform like Bowser's dungeon. Mimes on stilts held fake panels of glass between them to set them off balance. They dodged, weaved.
That's so smart.
They dodged, weaved, ducked, and just before they were back on solid ground, his foot came away from him and he slipped. She caught him, yanked him upright with one arm, like he weighed nothing. which was insulting, honestly. He'd been surviving off protein, mush and shame smoothies for years, but still, maybe he should have listened to his mother when she said he needed feeding up every Christmas. At least he'd found a girl now, he supposed. Psychotic, though, she seemed. Thanks, he gasped. Don't make me regret it, she grunted. He's turned to one side. The cyborg cowboy was using his chain to whip the diminutive human at incoming threats. On the other side, Hume had hacked into a drone and was using it to ride him and the crocodile further into the maze. When the woman tugged him to the other side of the walkway, the path snapped shut behind them. Keep up, she barked. Another path ahead split in two. One led into a tunnel filled with strobe lights and the sort of pain-inducing music that sounded like bagpipes on fire. Probably EDM music.
Wow.
I said it.
Damn.
A sign marked it as the Sensory Pain and Noise Compartment, or SPANK for short. The other was peaceful. Bluebells lined the entrance and birds chirped from inside. The lilting tunes of Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles could be heard. He could see a wooden sign sticking out of the mossy ground. Emotional catharsis and therapy zone. Warning, oversharing may occur. He walked towards it. Sounds like this is a no-brain. The Chain Titan. Fuck off, she said immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing...
There are worse things than death.
I'm not sharing my deepest, darkest anything with the walking, talking equivalent of an unwelcome brown stain on a hotel bedsheet.
Jesus. What kind of hotel are you staying at? The train station?
We're taking the spank room. She dragged him off into the strobe light tunnel. Inside, they encountered absolute chaos. The bad club music was overlaid with honking geese, car horns, and Gilbert Gottfried's sex tape soundtrack.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
R.I.P. Gilbert. With one step inside, the woman fell to her knees, unable to block out the sounds. It was agony unparalleled. Luckily, the man had swimmer's ear, which coincidentally was why he never learned anything other than the breaststroke, and not the sexy kind. This meant the base was lower and he could cope. He reached back and around into the emotional sharing tunnel and grabbed a clump of the thick moss growing on the entrance. He stuffed it quickly into her ears, providing instant relief to her, then guided them both through. As soon as...
Why didn't they just use the earmuff spell?
As soon as they were through, she pulled the plant from her ears and stared at him. It was tearing me apart in there, she said, breathless, then looked at him in surprise. You saved me. I can't drag you through this place, he muttered, rubbing the back of his neck. Plus, you saved me. It's only fair I return the favour, I guess. The floor opened up below them, into a pit so deep they couldn't see anything. No light escaping. The slack on the chain eased as the chain seemed to grow between them. He looked to the sides as three other teams, the cyborg cowboy and the human, the croc robot pair, and the frog and jelly skelly, seemed to be facing the same dilemma. Final trial of the labyrinth, the announcer boomed. Contestants must trust fall into the trust net. Only one leap per team. Remember to scream your partner's name with genuine affection. What? Where's the net? He shouted over the din, his question only met with a shrug from her. You go, she said. Me? You're lighter, less likely to miss. Are you saying I have the aerodynamic grace of a leaf? I'm saying if you fall, I won't miss you, she smirked. Plus, I can pull you back up if you don't hit net. He stepped up to the edge, looking down into nothing but gloom. It's just... this all seems as pointless as Hulk Hogan's most recent match against an Undertaker, he muttered.
Hulk Hogan really taking a beating here.
What are they trying to assess here? Does it matter? Do you want to live or not? She said, hand on his shoulder. He turned. She nodded once, and he fell back. He realised something and suddenly screamed, I don't even know your name! It's Tamia, she called. He bellowed her name, and the net instantly caught him. A moment later she landed beside him, boots first, almost breaking his ribs. They were hoisted up on a platform, blinking under the spotlight. Trial complete! Names logged! Respect points awarded! Let's hear it for Tamia Santo and her jokey!
Oh yeah!
The crowd screamed. Somewhere confetti exploded. A baby in the crowd wept with happiness, and Hijoki lay on his back, gasping, heart trying to exit via his ears. Tamiya stood and offered him a hand. "You didn't wet yourself," she said, as if deeply surprised and proud. He took her hand. I'm not going to lie, a little bit came out, but I have really good Kegel control. I'm an uptight kind of person. The voice returned, smug. "Success! You have earned continued breathing privileges." The chain
Oh, thank God.
The chain clicked, unlatched and retracted. They were free. She offered a hand. "Tamiya." He took it, shakily. "Hijoki." She nodded once and stared with a weird look, as if she knew the name from somewhere. A light bathed their faces, and the man looked as a door of light appeared, the exit to this nightmare. She strode, now at a pace finally he could match, marching towards the next room like a one-woman war crime. Hijoki followed, very quietly trying not to trip on his own sense of smugness at not dying. Back in the control room, Nesta, Yulin and Fenk watched the feed as the numbers scrolled in from the one and all. Yulin's eyes rotated like an adding machine as she calculated. 400 increase in viewing figures alone, she whispered as she pulled a drink from the drone with one of her tentacle legs. "It is impossible." Nesta's eyes narrowed. "However, 4 pairs have entered the second stage. It's unheard of." Fenk put down his flask of souls and looked worried. He turned to the one and all. Do we need to intervene?" A long tendril of pink slammed into the control panel, making the one and all's interface fizz and hiss in electric sparks. It slinked back from whence it came with a chuckle. A clacking. The pitter-patter of nails on the chromed floor could be heard entering the room, and the 3 of them turned to see their brethren, a small dog with tentacles and a long fibrous tongue,
Oh my God.
enter the control room and smile. "What's the meaning of this, Malcolm?" Fenk snorted. "We have an opportunity to resolve here." Malcolm's tongue came around and patted Nesta on the shoulder, leaving a long tail of drool on his robes. "Oh, my brothers and sisters, we have a far bigger opportunity than you could ever realise." Yulin huffed. Where have you been anyway? Off on another of your pointless omniversal cataloguing excursions? Malcolm laughed. "Oh, my sweet summer child, I've been doing far more than that. Let me tell you all about a little girl called Kellen and the Council of Doots. To be continued."
Oh my God!
Malcolm's
That
back!
was great.
That was fucking crazy.
Ah, thanks. I like that.
I didn't like the part where it said my mom was disappointed in me.
I knew already.
Yeah, we all.
I kind of did too.
Luckily, I don't care about my mum's opinion.
Yeah, fuck her.
Yeah, fuck your mom.
Yeah, fuck your mom. That was cool.
That was really
That was
good.
good. I love the way you find new ways to reintroduce them. It's crazy how I fall for it every time.
I do
I
too,
love it.
actually.
Oh, good. If I don't name someone instantly in a story, you can tell they're going to be an old character.
Yeah. Well,
More or less. Sorry,
Look, we're
that's
too
just
dumb to
how-
pick up on that, so it's fine.
what's a character?
We're still
Says
got no...
the man with 30 of them in
30
the story
characters.
today.
The guy who had to label all his dialogue so he got the voices right.
Hey, I still got him wrong, so it didn't even help. Nice.
Still no Technomancer. What could he be doing?
It's
Well,
true.
Malcolm's here. He's even worse.
He is. And
Somehow.
And he is the same Malcolm.
Oh
No,
my
of course he
God.
is. Malcolm is timeless.
Malcolm is
Spoiler alert
timeless.
to your story that you're writing.
Oh, no. There's only one Malcolm. Only one Malcolm.
Did you have a dog named Malcolm growing up?
No.
Rich?
I just think Malcolm is literally the worst name. Sorry to anyone who's
Really?
called Malcolm.
It's a
Damn.
pretty bad name. I'm not gonna lie.
I think probably
You're telling me that bitch bastards thinks that Malcolm is the worst name you can have?
I mean, I don't care what he thinks.
You tell me that shit Shatstards is telling me that Malcolm
Shit
is bad?
Shatner?
Shit Shatner.
Nice.
I've got a great name.
You do have a good name.
Yeah, you guys have you're both of you, your wife and you have great names.
Yeah, I mean, Nightingale is a better name. I'll admit that. I should have taken her name.
Yeah, that's a
what's a better
sick-ass name.
Muffy Bonebanger.
It doesn't
I
get
should have
any better
taken
than
her
that.
name.
Yeah, why not?
Richard
Bonebanger.
Every name sounds good with it. Malcolm Bonebanger.
It
Sounds
does.
good.
You made Malcolm good? Damn.
Yeah. Malcolm isn't the worst name. There are some worse names, but Malcolm is one of those names that is kind of like dying out for a reason.
Head over to
right?
our Patreon and pick some names out to make fun of, Rich, since you're already alienating.
Make fun of some. What's a worse name than Malcolm?
Nigel. Nigel's
Okay.
pretty bad, right?
That's
Nigel's
pretty bad.
Nigel's pretty bad.
Nigel's my father-in-law's name, and there was an article on the BBC about how like names are dying out worldwide, and
Yeah.
Nigel was the top one.
Oh well.
That's probably for the best.
It is probably for the
Did
best.
you send it to him and say, so when are you
popping off?"
checking out? Yeah.
I think
No.
Jeff is on that list of names that
Wow.
are dying out.
Jeff with a J or both Jeffs?
I think Jeff with a J is the one that's dying out. That's your uncle's name, Jeff. That's the type of name Jeff is.
Yeah, same as Nigel here. Nigel is like your great uncle or something like that.
So really, Jeff is worse than Nigel, is what you're telling me.
No,
Holy
I think
shit.
Nigel is the one that's clearly going to die out first.
Just
Edna.
glad my name isn't any of those dumb names, especially Jeff.
That's fair. I mean, I'd live with it every day. I understand.
Silent. Just silence over there. Oh shit.
Matt,
Did
right.
you not hear me agree with him? Am I?
You were quiet for a
But at first you were just yeah.
I was waiting for you to stop guffawing so I could make a joke. Guffawing at your own joke real quick so I can.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Right, 2 stories down, 1 left.
I don't want to follow that.
We've got a trip to Spooky Vision coming up, and you're going to piss pants. So in the break, go and get some new pants. Welcome back for the finale of episode 67. We hope you enjoyed it. You can't answer, so I will assume that you did. Jeff!
I heard them.
Whoa. We
you heard
speed running
them.
this one?
You heard them all agree at once. Yay.
I heard like the Force, like when Alderaan blows up, they said, "Yay!"
Finally.
A great
Finally.
a great virginity reached out. I'm only joking with you.
funny. Some of you have probably seen a tit.
Probably.
Statistically, yes.
I mean a real life tit.
Yeah. People in the UK can't do that without a VPN anymore.
Jesus. We're headed that way, so.
Oh my god.
Protect the children, yeah, because adults don't have VPNs on their network.
Right.
Well, my story is called Chain of Ghouls.
That is so good.
That's great. That's excellent.
The sound of the thing outside crashing against the steel walls of the dumpster was ear-splitting. Johnny Long could feel each thunderous explosion of sound and vibration hit him like a Mack truck, sending jolts of pain through his head like a 3-day-long hangover migraine. The kind of migraine your nasty-ass mama gets after she gets taken to Pound Town by the entire truck stop parking lot for a fifth of Jack Daniels and a Powerball ticket.
She could win!
She could win.
Yeah.
He frantically tried to piece together what was happening and what his options were while his heart pushed up into his throat higher and higher with each body-rattling slam the inhuman frothing beast outside of the trash-laden sanctuary made against it. He'd been in the hospital for several days from being shot in the head. If he had his wits about him a little more, he might have thought more about how ridiculous that sounded. 2 days for a gunshot wound to the skull? But it was a fleeting thought. He had more pressing matters to attend to. The nurse had tried to kill him, and he'd barely made it out of the hospital alive, which in the American healthcare system could be seen as either a good or bad thing, depending on your ability to eat a $6,000 expense, and I guess whether you wanted to live or not.
I kind of don't want to do either.
No.
Or you could also just become the Joker. But
Bomb a hospital.
Live in a society.
when he had run, his nurse had followed like a horror movie special effect. And when she'd finally caught up to him in the alleyway, the horror had become all too real.
Oh, this is the hot nurse I thought was hot that turned into a fucking spider cricket nurse. Mm-hmm. I still think she's hot.
Some horrifying thing had exploded out of her abdomen and chased after him. The size of a Doberman, it had scuttled faster than he could even follow, and this dumpster had been his only reprieve. But each heavy thud against its outside by the weight of the formless creature was caving it in on him, pushing the metal walls closer and closer like a hydraulic press, inching closer to crushing him alive. But before he could manage to straighten his thoughts and quiet his inner screaming, the sound had suddenly stopped. Dead silence followed as Johnny huddled in the darkness within the dumpster in that long, empty moment, wondering if he had escaped death or if it had already taken him. And just as the sound had stopped, a new and even more terrifying one replaced it. The sound of the heavy metal lid of the dumpster being yanked upwards and open. "Fuck!" Johnny screamed, throwing his hands up to block the incoming bright light which suddenly blinded him, as well as hopefully stopping the slathering, toothy creature from ripping directly into his face. "Holy cannoli!" An unfamiliar voice broke through the scream at once, matching it and silencing Johnny. Standing over top of him was a middle-aged man with a cigarette drooping out of his bottom lip, wearing a hairnet over his heavily slicked back black hair and a dirty apron. "There's a fucking dude in here, Maria!" Johnny sat up and stared, wide-eyed and empty-minded at the man who stood over him, one hand holding the dumpster lid open and the other precariously balancing a near-to-bursting trash bag on the rim on top of it. "Maybe he can help you make something of your life, Paulie." A woman's voice joined in from somewhere beyond the dumpster. "Does this dumpster man have any tips on not being a fucking embarrassment to your family?" "Stop busting my balls, Maria!" The man, apparently named Paulie, yelled back with spittle flying from his face. "At least I'm not sitting around soaking up the fucking welfare check my mother scammed off of the fucking deli meat man."
Wait.
Oh, you would bring that up, Paulie, you fucking gobba-gunt. My ma got food poisoning at Mr. Fuckeretto's Deli, and there ain't no doctor in the city who would speak against it. As God is my witness, Paulie, if you speak ill of my mother one more time," Maria screeched. "Can you believe this fucking broad dumpster man?" Paulie said with a smirk and a shrug of his shoulders, taking a long drag off of his cigarette. "Anyway, you have a good fucking night, my guy." Paulie then dumped the entire gigantic bag of trash into the dumpster and then slammed the lid shut on Johnny without another word.
That Polly's all right, you know?
A moment passed, Johnny blinking in the real darkness, as well as the metaphorical darkness of not knowing what the flying fuck was going on in the story anymore.
Yeah.
Then the dumpster lid yanked open once again, all at once, sending a shock of fear through Johnny again. But it was just Paulie again, who absent-minded tossed the butt of his lit cigarette into the dumpster as well, barely missing Johnny, and then dropped the lid back down with a head-ringingly loud slam.
Was that not gonna cause a fire?
Johnny sat and listened to Paulie's steps disappear in the distance, the vague sound of two stereotypes sniping back and forth at each other accompanying them, followed by the sound of a heavy metal door slamming shut. He waited another moment in abject, dumbfounded silence, and then slowly began to raise up and push the lid open himself. What awaited him was a completely empty alleyway, exactly as he had arrived at it. He placed his hand on the rim of the dumpster and then heaved himself up out of it. His sneakers...
Mans can't go into dumpsters. Write that down.
His sneakers clapping down on the soaked cement loud enough to echo off the walls around him, but there was no one else there to hear it. A single light buzzed over a red steel door inset into the brick wall adjacent from him, just a little ways down the alley. A scratched-up, dented old decal on the door read, Giovanni's Pizza, pizza and a whole lot more, with a little TM next to it.
You guys have a Giovanni's? We have a Giovanni's.
Oh, really?
Did it come with mashed potato?
No, you fucking sick bastard. I would run.
Fuck, I'm out of here.
I would run if they served mashed potatoes at Giovanni's.
Josh, catch glimpse of a mashed up potato, I'm gone.
Oh, wow, well, that'll save us having to fire you.
Oh, fuck. A smiling Italian stereotype stared back at him, but a different one than the last page of this story. Like the video game Mario instead of the TV and movie one. Johnny snapped around all at once, remembering the dumpster crushing in on him, but saw absolutely no evidence of that. A fully intact but horrifically stained old blue and gray steel dumpster set against the old stone wall, completely untouched except by decades of some of the most disgusting detritus you could imagine, and also probably pizza. He stood there in the cold night's air, dumbstruck. There was no crumpled-over, blood-soaked body of a nurse. There was no horrifying spider creature with human teeth. There wasn't even a dent in the goddamn dumpster he'd been trapped in a second ago. Suddenly, deep within the pit of his stomach, Johnny felt a sickness well up within him. A deep, instinctual desire to escape from here and go anywhere there could be safety, where he could find an ounce of reality to latch onto and never let go. Though he felt childish accepting it, all he wanted to do was go home. So he did. The end. No. In the chill of the Miami night, he ducked from street to street, speed-walking as best he could, tracking a trail back to a street he recognized to find his way home. He knew where the hospital was, relatively, but somehow it took him the better part of 2 hours to find his front stoop, a trip that should have been 20 minutes, tops. He fumbled through his pocket for his keys and felt the first moment of relief of the entire ordeal wash over him as his fingertips brushed cold metal in his pocket. The door was open and he was inside with it locked again before a breath could escape him. Up the stairs he hurried, trying to make as little noise as he could, passing by the shithole neighbors' doors one by one in the middle of the night. His key slid into his apartment door's lock and undid it faster than your mom undoes her bra for the Uber Eats guy when he smiles at her with 100 times better results, because the door opened instead of running away screaming without giving her the bag of Chipotle first.
Well, did he have mashed potatoes or not?
Inside he ducked, slamming the door shut behind him, locking it tight with a deadbolt and sliding down his back against the door. He sat there for a long, long time, his breathing shallow and his mind racing no matter how much time passed. Finally, after very much time had passed, he hoarsely whispered to himself, Am I? He held his shaking hands up in front of his face. He couldn't stop them from moving. The words hung in the air for a while. He pressed his hand against the door and steadied himself to stand back up to his feet. He needed some kind of normalcy more than he needed answers at that moment. He undressed, but not in a sexy way like your mom. Well, I guess actually pretty similar to your mom then, knowing how buck-fucking nasty she is.
Damn.
What am I, a long-haul trucker out for a quick pit stop at her meat canyon for the all-you-can-come buffet? Anyway.
That's Rich's second favorite restaurant, Meat Canyon.
Anyway, he did all the normal things he did when he finally got home, in search of some kind of realness to escape from the surreal, clinging fear which permeated his entire body. A quick shower, a shave, a change of clothes, a white t-shirt with a pair of gray sweatpants he'd normally loved to wear, specifically for the dick print he could show off to all the jealous and or lustful locals. And a pair of house shoes. It all helped, but not anywhere near enough. He kept seeing the thing bursting out of that nurse's body, and every time he tried to clench his eyes closed tighter to escape the memory, it only paused for a moment before it began to play once more. He flopped down onto his ass in his recliner, finding a glass and a bottle of gin waiting for him like it always was on the coffee table.
Yeah.
He peered at it from the edge of his vision, his head laying back against the plush leather of the chair. Maybe I am off my fucking rocker, he whispered with vitriol in his voice, and leaned forward enough to snatch up the bottle. He uncapped it quickly and turned it up to fill the glass, filling it up with that classic dook 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 dook.
That was really good.
AKA alcoholic's favorite sound effect.
Uh-oh.
And then flipped it back, not even bothering to cap it again. With a quick turn of his glass, he began to chug the gin down desperately, the burning through his throat at least a feeling that felt familiar to him. Nothing else he was thinking or feeling was even registering as his own at that point. Maybe. A voice from the darkness across the room from him whispered, causing him to jump up out of his chair and send the remainder of his glass of gin bouncing off the carpet in front of him with a loud series of grinding thuds. Who
so
the
good, just
fuck?
like-
Johnny instinctually grabbed for his pistol, but found nothing as he'd been finding all night. A lamp turned on across the room from him. Sitting there, in a small chair against the wall where she had spent most of her free time reading when she was alive, was his wife, Katie Long.
What? He just got shot in the head. He's losing his mind.
Johnny stood shaking in place, his eyes wide and his jaw hanging open, every fiber of his being burning with a white-hot shock that threatened to explode out of him, rending him apart. "You've had a long night, Johnny. I thought I'd stay up and check on you," Katie said, perfectly normally, as she'd said a million times before being the operative word. You can't be," Johnny sputtered, almost tripping as he tried to back away into his recliner, slamming down into the cushion and almost causing it to flip over backwards. "Does Johnny Long not believe what his eyes tell him anymore?" Katie asked with a playful smile. She was wearing a pair of black sweatpants and a blue tank top, with her short brown hair swept back over one ear. He would have recognized her from a million miles away, but he couldn't bear to even look at her. "I suppose that might be for the best." "Who the fuck are you?" Johnny screamed out, clenching the arms of his recliner with both hands, fingers digging deep into the leather from the sudden surge of panic and anger. Katie narrowed her eyes and sat silently. "You aren't Katie, goddammit!" Johnny screamed and then slowly settled back into his seat, his hands covering his face as his voice muttered from behind them, muffled. Katie's dead?" Katie asked evenly. "I suppose you would know, having killed me and all."
What?
I didn't. I could never have," Johnny cried out, throwing his hands back from his face, tears welling in his eyes and his face suddenly burning hot. "Second hand makes it okay? Your hands are clean?" Katie said with a tilt of her head. "Ding dong." I didn't," Johnny sputtered, tears running down his face. If I would have known," he screamed out at once. "Ding dong." "What, the 300 ads a day about the dangers of smoking weren't enough for you?" Katie returned with a smirk and a chuckle. "Did you forget about Dare conveniently for give or take 20 years? Ding dong. I'm sorry, Katie. I didn't," Johnny sputtered through his tears. "Ding dong." "Answer the door, dear," Katie said evenly. Almost instinctually, Johnny raised up out of his chair. He dragged his feet across the floor towards the door, using the short sleeve of his t-shirt to wipe the tears from his face and hide the despair that had engulfed him at least enough for company. He'd done this a million times before for every visitor that had come since Katie's death. They'd come in droves to begin with, her friends, her family, their acquaintances, but slowly but surely they began to peter off until no one had rung that doorbell in years. Ding dong. Johnny stopped short of opening the door and turned back towards where Katie was sitting. The light was off, and no one was sitting in the corner reading chair any longer. It was untouched completely, as it had been for years now. He swallowed hard as he stood there staring at the empty room. Ding dong. Fuck! Johnny screamed to himself, half under his breath. He turned the deadbolt on the door, unlocked it quickly with the knob, and yanked it open. Standing on the other side of it, a pissy look on his greasy features, was Gordon G. Gordon, holding a briefcase under his arm and wearing a light gray suit with a darker gray tie. What kept you? I've been laying on the horn for like an hour, Gordy bitched, bitcherly. He hurried past a catatonic Johnny into his apartment without being asked in and flopped down on the couch next to the recliner, slamming the briefcase down on the coffee table at once. If you were jaking your junt, you could have at least put on a non-crusty sock on the door like a gentleman.
Your junt.
Johnny said quietly, mostly to himself. He was a million miles deep in his mind at this point, trying and failing to put two and two together about what had even fucking transpired that night. He felt a frantic, almost manic need to understand well up within him, but he couldn't identify it just yet, and added it to the pile of shit that was wrong with him. What's up your thin little ass, Long? Gordy asked, surprisingly genuinely for someone who was asking in that particular manner. You look like you've seen all of the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo at once or something.
Is that how many there are?
Gordy, Johnny's voice shook and so did his hands as he wrung them together. He walked across the room and scooped up his now empty gin glass, replacing it back on the coffee table next to the bottle, and then slowly sat back down in his recliner. I can't really explain this, but... What is it? We don't have time to shit dick around on this one. This case is hot, Gordy quickly returned. Earlier tonight, after you left the hospital, Johnny muttered, and then cleared his throat, deciding once and for all to lay it out, to get it out of his head, at least part of it, and not give a flying fuck if it comes out sounding like he's a nut or not. It happened, and he needed to tell someone. The nurse, she tried to kill me. What? Gordy said, suddenly more serious. What happened? Why? She said I'd, gotten too close to something, or was... I don't know. But she tried to choke me, and I dipped. Johnny swallowed hard, and then just quickly powered through the rest of the story. I ran from the hospital. I ran and she followed me. I mean, she was moving like an animal. And when I thought I'd gotten away, I got really far away, you know. I was blocks away, and... What the fuck are you trying to say to me, Long? Gordy interrupted, getting a little fed up with the constant stuttering and skipping around. But he added, in as heartfelt a tone as he was capable, just tell me. I got blocks away to an alley, and the nurse she'd apparently been chasing me the whole time. Something burst out of her, Gordy. A fucking spider thing burst out of her and started running towards me. The only reason I'm sitting here right now is I jumped into a dumpster and it couldn't break through, but it sure fucking tried its damnedest. Johnny spat out at once, his eyes wide and his voice almost manic. After a second, he settled back into his seat and rubbed his forehead with one hand in small circles between his eyes. I slipped out and ran back here. I don't even know where the fuck it went. Gordy sat silently, staring with his own eyes wide and his mouth drooped open a little. He made no effort to speak or even to move, just letting the painful silence hang in the air between them. I know how this all makes me sound, Johnny cried out at once, but Gordy raised a hand up to stop him, and then lifted his glasses off, rubbing at the bridge of his nose. Are you fucking with me right now? Why the fuck would I make this shit up? Johnny cried out again, offense dripping from his voice. No, it's just that... Gordy put his glasses back on and suddenly became very shifty in his seat. Hands clasped together and clammy. I used to, when I was a kid, I had this recurring nightmare, you know? Well, not just when I was a kid, I guess, still to this day. For my whole life since I was a kid, it just started it all. I don't know why, but the two men sat in the dim living room then, in tense silence for what felt like a long while. In the nightmare, the train I'm on is being run by people with spider monsters inside of them. They burst out of them, just like you said they do, and they have their teeth, Gordy began to mutter. They have human teeth, Johnny said concretely. Yeah, Gordy sputtered out, staring out from behind his glasses with wavering, slightly teary eyes. I've never told anyone about these dreams. Not in my life. No one. Your nightmare is my reality, Gordy. I saw this thing. The nurse, it burst out of her, and she just crumpled to the floor. Johnny said, suddenly feeling some kind of fire burn in his chest again. I believe you, Johnny, Gordy said with conviction, returning to his voice again. We're in this together now. I knew something wasn't right with this case, with these people. You knew that because of the little doodad you found in the field? Johnny asked, trying to feel like himself again, desperately, and even more desperately trying to figure out what he had seen before Gordy arrived in the back of his mind. Not just that, Gordy reached for his briefcase on the desk. He flipped open the tabs and slowly raised the lid on it, revealing that sitting inside of it, on top of a stack of manila file folders and photographs, was a thick metal chain covered in bloodstains and worn at its edges. I also found this, in the cellar where we found that Brooks girl. What the fuck? Johnny asked, staring hard at the strange chain in the case, studying the spatterings of blood around its edges. The boys in the lab took a look at it for me, too, Gordy said with a tilt of his head. He touched one finger to the edge of the case. The blood on it, it's necrotized. It's been there for over 2 weeks. It's a positive match, Johnny. That blood belongs to Madeline Brooks. To be continued.
She was eating dinner. That was awesome.
It was good.
Thank you.
I like our silence probably speaks volumes there. Like, I'm trying to piece it all together in my head.
Yeah. I was like, oh, was he... Yeah, when you said he had a dream, I was like, oh, the train was a dream, okay.
Yeah.
But, like...
Was it,
why? Was it, though?
Yeah, we don't
was
know.
it?
We don't know anything about Gordy just yet. But
He could be a lying fucking liar.
Johnny has a sidekick now.
I always assumed that there was something bad about Gordy, and Gordy had never come back from the train, and Gordy wasn't really Gordy.
That's what I thought, too.
Well, it's at the end of the story, he woke up and it was a dream.
But I'm never convinced by that ending.
Yeah, I don't buy that shit.
Like,
Agree to disagree. Do your own research.
Do your own Gordy research.
I thought that something was, like, he'd had a dream, but that was sort of like some sort of inhabitation, that sort of dream, where he was, like, being taken over.
Replaced.
Yeah, or replaced.
He's been haunted by that dream his whole life.
He got out easy. I don't care. Fuck you, Gordy.
One thing I like about your storytelling is it's not one thing, but one thing in particular.
The only thing I enjoyed so far.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, the only thing I hate that I love about your shitty stories is the fact that you can dip in and out, much in the same way I can because of omniversal stuff, and tell a story that seems consequential, but when you can make it inconsequential very quickly, so you can do whatever the fuck you want in that story and tell a really good story and have it in no way connect depending on how you feel about it afterwards.
Yeah. One thing I do that you guys don't do is I just write bad stories, and then you can... They just can be not anything.
I disagree with that statement.
Yeah, shut up, you moron.
Sick-ass stories, you dumb bitch.
You fucking whore meat.
You fucking slut
Dick.
human.
One thing I love about your stories, Josh, is that you're a dick, and a dick writes them with their dick.
I guess the question that everybody should be asking themselves for everything that's happened in this story yet is Johnny Long insane?
Yeah, I mean, if I were Johnny Long, I'd really consider, like, maybe just ending it at this point. I don't really...
He has to get answers. He has to get answers.
You better be careful. Sometimes answers are spooky. That's what they say.
Sometimes they're spooky vision.
Sometimes when you dig, all you get is in a hole.
That's it.
That's a saying. That's a saying.
We all have said that.
Yeah, a million times.
But the thing that was making me go towards this, like, something's wrong with them all, they're all being replaced, like, gradually or, like, psychically or something like that, is that Johnny is obviously having these fucking weird delusions, premonitions, like bouts of insanity, and I was like, is he getting taken over as well? But maybe not.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
We just don't know.
Maybe, here's what I think. Just succumb to the third birth, everyone, and it'll all be okay.
It can't be any worse.
It can't be any worse.
When our Lord and Savior, the Umbral Board, descends from the moon,
Yeah.
we will all become true angels.
You'll see the reality that is the love of the blood god.
Josh and I should, whenever you mention the Umbreborn, go do a little prayer. Oh,
Praise him.
Umbreborn.
Speak in tongues.
It's like how, you know, you talk to chatbots politely because when Skynet comes in, you want to be ahead of the curve, right? So I just want to be...
You want to be on the list.
Yeah,
You have to get on the Umbral-born's good side before he descends upon the planet.
Hail.
I mean, I might be like a footstool, a.k.a. a hassock my whole life after that, but...
A small place in West Sussex.
Yeah.
I just think, like, I have a lot to offer the Umbreborn. Be it my eternal soul or my sycophantic love for them. I just, you know, I've got a lot to offer. I'm just publicly saying it now.
You're just a fresh beehole.
Yeah, whatever that Umbreborn needs, man.
Oh, we're lying now? Now we're lying? Okay.
Yeah, that was great. I loved it.
That was awesome.
I was very quiet, deliberately.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I told Josh yesterday or the day before, I was like, my story's got some jokes, but it's mostly just fucked.
Yeah, it was good, though. It was
good.
I mean, I don't... Just stop writing good shit, all right? I'm sick of hearing about it.
I just started.
You just started? Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I like that you still got a load of jokes in because you did the whole thing with the dumpster. You got a like you when you want to tell when you want to tell a deep in the weeds story that is all scare, you've got to just get the jokes out of the way sometimes. We know this.
Jeff could be like, he could write for like an HBO series or something, you know, where it just turns completely dark, but it's also got that like dark humor to it. You know what I mean? He could do that.
Thank you. That's very sweet of you to say.
He's got that.
Let's talk about him like he's on here. What else do we like?
I've got
about
this great prestige series that I'm looking to pitch. It's called Longmire.
He's got this good quality of doing this sort of like, you know, those random episodes of the X-Files that were the best episodes of the X-Files. Like,
they're the best ones.
You know, like Mum under the bed on a wheelie bit of plywood.
Scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
But
they aired it once and they were like, can't air that again.
Yeah. But like that sort of story is what I always get from a really good Spooky Vision story.
I like the one with Luke Wilson as the cop, and his teeth just get
funky teeth the whole episode.
Every time. It's like Rashomon, right? They're telling the story.
Yeah.
It gets stupider every time.
He's like, oh, hell, there, Miss Scully.
There's some great individual episodes of like shows like procedural shows like X-Files and Buffy that we always like forget, and then you know you get a flash of something and you remember them piecemeal. Like The Gentleman, the Buffy episode The Gentleman, when it's all in silence. That episode is just...
I've only seen the movie Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I've watched a good amount of the series as well.
Oh, man. I loved that episode. It was so
good. It's like
good.
the KFC of shows. I've never been there.
They do have mashed potatoes on that show.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm leaving. I can't.
Get back in the car, dear.
We're in unholy land.
Right, let's
they
close
don't know the Umbreborn here.
Let's close the menu on this week's stories. Let's bring up the All-C Prompt Ball, and the first one is...
God, he's on this. Jesus.
Hemorrhages by Anthony Stoker. Oh, that's a Jeff-friendly prompt if ever.
Yeah, that's going to be real easy for me.
And Blizzards by Israeli Donut. They go together like cheese and jizz.
Oh, what's the difference?
Well, true.
Whoa.
So,
Hemorrhage.
Yeah, I just was trying to spell it. Hemorrages.
I think it's Hemmorragh.
You're just adding
Am I just adding
more letters.
more letters?
What was the second one? Lizards.
Blizzards, as in snowstorms.
Oh, blizzards. I heard
I
lizards
thought you
as
said
well.
lizards. Yeah.
Lizards.
Blizzards? That would have been embarrassing.
Yeah, we would
been
have
so
both
funny.
written the wrong prompts.
Oh, man. Right.
Why are you guys writing about lizards?
Hemorrhages is Hemorrhages.
Wow.
Oh my
It
god.
took me spelling it wrong 17 different ways before autocorrect would tell me.
What the fuck?
Okay, well, if you thought that prompt list needed a bit more lizard, then you need to go over to patreon.com/storylords, and for $5 a month at our pen pals level, you can gain access to our monthly exclusive after show discussions cast, which is Afterlords, where we talk about literally anything and everything in between takes and continue our long history of in-jokes. You'll receive written files of our stories to read. You can suggest prompts of your own for the show, and you get access to one of the coolest Discords that there's ever been. And you can pledge for a month and
I'm
stay
not gonna-
forever in that Discord.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name any names here, even though it's like a really good thing. But someone DM'd me the other day to talk about how amazing a group of people the Discord is for Storylords and how much
That's
they
cool.
loved being there.
That's really nice.
His name was Bosch Benderson.
Josh said that you're all a bunch of bitches.
What?
He told me.
For $10 a month at the Hender Saints level, you get one or two, depending on the recording length, extra sidecasts per month, which could be made up of an extra Afterlords podcast, a redesign by committee where the three of us choose an existing IP and make it better, in Lame Man's Terms, which is a show where one of us fully nerds up and presents a case for something we're into, and Cunt Rushmore, a show where three of us select our best of the best and then try and jointly pick a fourth. And if we fail that subject. And then you get all the previous stuff as well. And then with the masterpieces, $20 a month level, you get a quarterly hangout, which we need to do next month. So we will do that in August. Every 3 months, you'll get a chance to participate in something with us. That could be a workshop, Q&A, game hangout, anything. Either way, you'll get to join us and chat us up and have fun.
Josh,
Live stream of my nudie photo shoots that I do of myself.
Absolutely. And
Josh and I were discussing an idea. We created a character and a backstory for a Everyone is John type game
right, I have no
called
idea.
Big Doug.
called Big Doug, where Big Doug is a divorced long haul driver trying to put his life back
Alcoholic.
together. Alcoholic.
Okay.
Chronic alcoholic.
He's trying to
Well-
put his life back together so that he could spend more time with his son, Doug Jr., who probably isn't his actual son.
Okay.
No, his ex-wife Nancy was real slutty.
She's
Oh, was
messing
this
around
what
with
the
his best
fuck
friend,
you were
Hank.
talking about on WhatsApp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, I
Hank.
I was like, I don't know what fucking fever dream these two are in. I'm just going to ignore this.
That's probably
that's
for the
WhatsApp
best.
for you.
That sounds fun. And then for our top tier, well, it's not our top tier, but it's the top tier that anyone pays for, the Timmy Blackcrest Memorial Fund. You become our Patreon royalty. You get our undying love and gratitude, and you'll get permanent original Discord role upgrade, title of your choosing, personal thank you at the end of every episode, and a small art piece that you can use as your Discord profile pic from me. Once per customer, a choice of art based on our characters. So, yeah, there you go. And that's it. And if you wanted to support the Lordly Lord of Lords tier, which is $100 a month, then quite frankly, you're insane. So, if you want to hear...
Yeah, we put that there as a joke. Although we did put the Timmy Blackcrest Memorial Fund there as a joke as well. But
We're gonna have to come up with some like crazy shit if somebody was nuts to do that, and I sure don't want to do that. Don't make me do that.
I mean, I think what we'd probably do is you'd
a
probably
kissing
get...
circle.
You would get, every 6 months, you'd get your own piece of personalised merch. We can do something like that where we will design a T-shirt that only you would have. But you
Holy
have to
shit.
you have to be a 6 month member in order to get that. So
It's an expensive t-shirt.
Yeah, but it would be a one of a kind.
It would be one of a kind.
From us to you. So, anything you want to find out about us, you can go to storylords.page or storylords.card.co. Review us on iTunes. I assume we haven't got any, so I'm not going to ask.
I haven't looked, actually.
Don't worry about
Let's embarrass ourselves real quick. Hold on.
No. Edit this out.
Use
your discretion.
For the big thanks to Vidazen as always. Greg supplies all the music for the show. You can find out about him at vidazen.card.co, or go and listen to him on Spotify. We did something really cool surrounding music that we're going to reveal in like a month or so. But that's what made me think of Vidazen, really.
I almost forgot. Oh, right.
And then anything else? The Patreon fans. Jeff, I take it no. Is the answer.
Keep going.
Okay.
Don't draw attention to it.
So, big thanks as always to our concubine and patron Stephen.
McConkie.
And then the Masterpieces tier members who are Anthony Stoker, Chris Balso, Federico Rodriguez, Gordon Ream, Granola Daniels, Heath Robinson, Jake Anderson and John Anderson, no relation, Malin Knight, Pez King, Ratty IRL, Rena Kemp, Sean Tabor, Squid Ludwig, Werewolf Bar Mitzvah _patron_only.
They changed their name in the Discord to that as well.
That's so good.
And a massive thanks to, I'm going to give Nate Bit the shout out for being a patron since November 2022.
Nate Bit, the newest king of patrons for this episode. I'm saying it.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, next week, blizzards and hemorrhages. Or hemorrhages.
With a B.
Lizards.
Bee lizards.
Bee lizards. Thank you as always for loving the show, giving us feedback, supporting us, just being all round great. We will see you in 2 weeks for more Story Lords goodness. Thank you very much for listening, and bye.